In this second part of the trip, Deb joins me for some great paddling in Florida Bay off Key Largo and different points of access off Cudjoe Key, Sugerloaf Key, and the lower keys. Some great sailing and a chance to get on the America 2 schooner.
Taken by the wind, you have known the kiss of sorrow, doors that would not let you in, outcast and a stranger. You have come by way of sorrow, you have come by way of tears, but you'll reach your destiny.
Seems we may have pulled this off again. My excellent wife should be up here somewhere. There she is. You a good looking thing?
Thank you.
First sail. It's pretty windy. Goes nothing. Well, we are sailing in Florida Bay. Forecast said 5 to 10. Yeah, it's a no home design. It's something we can paddle and I can sail too. That was lively. Way too much sail for that breeze. I may try to reef it, and since I'm already soaking wet, might as well go out again. All right, let's see what it's like reefed. A bit more manageable. I should go faster. Well, it's like one hill, icebreakers.
We start paddling and we head over towards that big pole sticking up out of the water.
Oh, way over to the cut.
Here we are, we're almost to the cut. I'm hoping to see some manatees this morning. Not necessarily to run into one like Doug did, but at least to see them from more of a distance.
Right over there's a snout.
Yep, there he is.
Two of them.
3 of them.
3 of them.
A flock, a herd of manatees. We're hanging out in the mangroves here. Okay, we're back at Kona Kai. And Doug will be back out for a sail.
All right, convert from paddling to sailing. Somewhere during the Wakula sail, I lost one of the 2 telltales, and so we went to CDS and found this, which has just about the right type of ribbon and some rubber cement. So let's see if we can make a little field repair. That'll go in, okay, so let's get some cement on it. It may hold. Need a hand? There she goes. Probably the last sail here. Supposed to get really windy later today and we leave tomorrow. There's Deb paddleboarding. Yeah. Hadn't tried this camera position before, but it ended up giving an interesting view of things. I like fastening on the removable combing, different ways to sort of hike on one elbow there. When the breeze is a little more moderate, just sort of cross-legged sitting there, or full-on hiking with two elbows, and sometimes even having to lean out against the breeze. And then a view of what it's like to get the sails down, which starts with removing the combing and stowing that behind. It's just held in place by two pins that go into two holes. Locking the tiller in place to free up two hands for getting the sail down and off the mast. Pulling those PVC sleeves off. Getting a little windy. Getting it ready to stay out of the way while paddling. Grabbing the paddles that are stowed underneath the stern there. And work my way in. It's handy to have the dagger board until it's getting ready to touch. That stows back by the combing. A little bit of steering. And step out before it hits the coral or the sand. After a great stay in Key Largo, we packed everything back up and headed further down the awesome drive along Route 1 to the lower Keys, stopping along the way at the Sunset Grill to enjoy the trip for some more sailing and paddling near Key West. Yeah, it's been blowing full gales since we've been here. It's eased up just slightly. I'm going to try a location I identified as potential good launch spot last time I was here, but I hadn't tried yet. Off Cudjoe Key, called Blimp Road. Still pretty windy, it says. Might have to reef, might chicken out. Interesting environment. This is Blimp Road. There's the blimp. And the verdict is I'll have trouble even paddling against this. I think what I'm going to do is just do a paddling exploration. Supposedly the shallower water is over here, straight off the end of the road and out around to that channel. Should be 3 to 6, which is more than enough for sailing. Don't want to kiss the concrete. Right off here, plenty of depth. Full dagger board at 5 feet right here. Blimp Road. Weather looks marginal, but better than yesterday. The blimp is up today. You're from Scotland. Where in Scotland?
So we live in a place called Aberdeen.
Right.
And I'm actually from the southwest of England.
Oh, okay.
And that's Plymouth, Portsmouth.
Yes.
So that's the traditional sailing. So I grew up sailing.
Wonderful. I'm jealous.
We're expecting to see Jack Sparrow and the Black Pearl come cruising by at some point.
Yeah. When I reef, I have to put a half loop around this sleeve because it doesn't go to the masthead. So you get some outward force on it as well as downward force. Yeah. And I got to make sure it doesn't pop off.
So what's your trade then? Are you a carpenter or are you a...
Went through school in construction, framing houses. Put my wife and I through school, but do computer software. Thanks for giving me your perspective on things and have a great rest of your time. First time trying to sail off Blimp Road. Yeah, I'm glad I'm reefed. best forecast since the last day at Largo, when this solid gale of 20 plus came in. We're gonna head out to Blimp Road again. And I've looked carefully at the depth situation. Should be the kind of breeze where I can really explore around. We'll see. What a change the day makes. We are underway. New telltales sort of working there. Finally, good sailing off of Blimp Road. There's the Blimp tether. And I guess the control truck. Okay, tacking back and forth, just watching the bottom and looking at the chart. I think I can have good water all the way past this little swash key and peek around the other side of that. Kind of dream sailing, exploring new territory. Beautiful. If I'm reading it right, even that very far point should be a channel I'm basically following. And a little Saywash, I think. Wild, wild place. Quite a view opening up there. Wow. Truly unbelievable treat. Things can go to disaster in a heartbeat when you're on the water, but this feels just so excellent. Okay, I think this is probably a good turnaround point. Should be fine to keep going, but some quirk of tide or current or something going wrong. I'm pretty far back. So let's see what it's like to make the reverse tack here. Should be close reach, hopefully not a full beat. So far so good. About back to the tip of Little Saywash. Going back up on the Blimp station. Okay. There's the ramp. We're back in the bay. Conditions are still perfect. Let's see if I can get a second camera on the boom. Probably at the limit of my sun exposure. So I'll start beating up toward the ramp. Beat up past it a little bit. Rudder's up, sails down. How's it going? I sail. Paddling's okay. Sailing's what I love. It's just a treat.
Yeah, that's a beautiful rig you got there. That's really nice.
Thanks. It's a home design, homemade.
Oh, really? Very cool.
I think probably about 10 miles down along the channel and back today.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
That's really slick.
Thanks. Where are you from?
We're from South Carolina.
Okay, I'm from Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
Farther away.
Well, you look like you're doing all right. You look like you get by, at least today.
Today's a good day.
And so what did you originally get and then outfit that from?
Just started sketching.
Is that right? So
Yeah.
you put the whole thing together yourself.
Blank piece of paper.
Good for you.
Thanks. It's probably the hardest thing is to get the balance of forces on the sail right. You got a dagger board and a rudder and sideways force from the sail as well as forward. So if you stick that dagger board right in the middle of where you're supposed to be sitting while you paddle, that doesn't work. So fiddling around with all that stuff, but it really has worked out pretty well.
Very good. Did you have some any sort of design to work off of?
No, not really.
Try to figure on this stuff?
This detail I got from a guy who took a traditional kayak and tried to put a little sail on it. But the rest of it was just kind of sitting down with some paper and
Thinking it through.
trying to figure it out, yeah.
It's gonna happen.
That kind of hole in the corner, and she's FaceTiming.
It's me steering. It was really nice. I think 30 feet. Start of our last full day here in Key West. Going to check out a spot that this really cool guy Randy told me about off Sugerloaf. Looks promising out onto the Atlantic side. Oh, it's in the middle of nowhere on the other side of these lower keys. I haven't been down this way much. Oh, does that look nice? Looks like there's breaking water out there. This is low tide. Well, ready as I'll ever be. Got my daggerboard plug in. I'm just gonna plan for a long paddle and not commit to sailing. Get around this corner. Got off to the right of the channel just a little bit to see what the depth was, and this changed water color, and sure enough, I touched board for a sec. Fetch all the way across the Atlantic here. Don't want to be under sail. Have to pull the fins up, try to take the sail down, and we're rolling and rocking in this stuff. Got about talking myself out of sailing here today. Yeah, I tried to cut the corner there and came into very shallow water, like this stuff here. So you'd have to have the right day to sail this boat out of here, where you could really get offshore, see the water depth, probably look at a chart before a nice wild mangrove paddle at least.
My wife has been pushing me to do my woodworking channel.
Oh, you should kill multiple birds with one stone. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So you have a YouTube channel for paddling, or?
For kind of woodworking and boat building specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, I'll show you some of my work.
I'd love to see it, yeah. My name's Doug, by the way.
Doug, nice to meet you. I'm GC, Giancarlo.
GC, nice to meet you. Pretty good sized little fish. Yeah, it's scooting along just fine, Reef. Okay, beating back up and calling it quits. Quite a nice adventure, and maybe the last one down here. What a gorgeous place. Needs to get out of my landing zone. Afternoon. Here, Debbie.